the rock and roll guitar boogie. Now, first step, make sure you've got the PDF file that I sent along of the guitar boogie. It's got the tabs on there. If you don't have a copy, please WhatsApp me or email me. I'll be more than happy to send you a copy of it. And let's get going. We're going to look at what does our fretting hand do for starters. You'll see that my fingers, I've numbered them. First finger, second finger, ring finger is 3 and pinky is number 4. And the important thing over here is to use one finger per fret. Also my thumb, which is waving at you there, doesn't move. Watch this as I play through it slowly. Watch my thumb, watch my finger movement. And what I'm hoping you'll observe over here is that everything in fret number 2 is my first finger. Everything in fret number 4 is my ring finger number 3, and the pinky is going to be in the 5th fret, finger number 4. Your middle finger is not going to be used yet. Now, for the beginning of it, we're going to start with the open 5th string. You can hear that. That's your zeros on the first bar, followed by 4s, which is on the 5th string. And then if you look at the tab, you'll notice the following 2 is on the string above it. When it goes up on the tab, it goes down on the guitar. So your 2 is here. So from the beginning, zeros, 4, there's your 2. You notice it's gone down on the guitar, but up in pitch. Okay, can get a bit confusing, I guess. Then your ring finger goes on the same string now as your first finger was. There's your 4, and the pinky goes to fret 5 on the 4th string. Once you're at that 5, which is the beginning of the 2nd bar, it simply reverses back down. So from the 5 that you've just played, onto the 4 where you were, back to the 2, and then it crosses string. On the tab it goes down a line, which means on the guitar now it goes up a string. So that's your last 4 of the 2nd bar. I want you to have a quick look. Bars 1 and 2 are identical to bars 3 and 4, and you'll notice on the PDF they're all in dark blue. That's because they're all implying the same chord. They're implying the chord A. So if you play the whole top line, it should be something like this. Now I just want to quickly focus on what is my picking hand doing. You'll notice I am using a pick for this. You may use fingers, but I would encourage you to use a pick perhaps for this one. And very importantly, I want you to notice the up and down strokes. They're called alternative picking, starting with a down stroke. Down strokes will be on your down beats. So slow motion, 1 and 2 and 3. Can you hear that swing there? That's what you want to hear, and now I'm going to play it wrong. See if you can tell the difference. And what I'm hoping you'll hear there is that what I just played was 00, 44, 22. That would be wrong. You want to have 0, tiny pause, 0, 4. And if you look at the PDF and the counting in light blue underneath, you can actually see the spaces between 1 and 2. And 3, which is your counting. And if I call out the tab fret numbers, 0, 0, 4, 4, 2, 2, 4. I hope you got that rhythm working for you. If you're not sure, let me know. I'll be happy to help. But that swing feel, very, very important on the rhythm. And the down, up picking. Down, up, down, up, down. So in short, all the notes that are the same, like the 2 zeros, have got a tiny pause. And all the notes that are different, like 0, 4, are quick together. 4, 2, quick together. 2, 4, quick together. Okay. Now we're going to go on to the next line out for the D. So I'm going to focus back into my fretting hand. All that's really happened over here is everything that you've done in the beginning for part A simply shifts down one string for the D, which is in the brown tab. So you're looking at the second line, it's 2 bars of D, it should sound like this. And I'm hoping that you pick up that it sounds really similar. In fact, it sounds or looks the same, it's just shifted down a fret. So if I play the blue, and if I play the brown underneath it, can you see the different strings for that? Now the picking hand is going to be exactly the same, so I'm going to zoom out and show you both picking and strumming hand. But before I do that, I want you to realize that in the second line, you only go through the little riff once and then you go back to the blue. So everything in blue is the same, implying A, and the brown is going to be implying the D. So I'm going to zoom out and watch the changes of the hands, watch how you move a string, and see how everything goes together. We're going to do the first 2 lines. You'll notice is repetition of the A, 1 times through for the D, and then back to the A, but also once. Here we go. I'm going to count this in, so if you want to play along with slowly. 2 and 3 and 4 and down a string, up a string, and then we go on to your third line, which is going to be a bit of a change. So we're going to zoom in again, see what the fretting hand is doing first, and let's work our way through it. The third one starts off in green and it implies an E chord, and we're only going to use finger 1 and 3 for this. We're not going to use the pinky, and we still haven't used the middle finger. But watch the jump from the 2 to the 6th fret. I'm in fret number 6 here with the third finger. One more time, watch the jump. 2 to 6. And the reason why I want to use your third finger for the 6 is it puts your first finger in position for the following 4, which is up a line, or as we said earlier, down a string. So your green bar, the one that implies the E chord, is going to go 2, 6, 4, 6. Then it goes to brown again, it says D, and you'll notice that the second bar of the third line happens to be exactly the same as the first bar of the second line. Okay, so you're going to now have this, but it doesn't go on to the 5, it's only half of the bar of the actual riff itself. So if you put the green and brown together, you're going to have this. And I want you to notice that I'm taking advantage of those 2 brown zeros in the D to help me move back. So when I go from the green, I jump up to the 6, correct? And while I play those 2 zeros, I move back to my original position so I can get to frets 2 and 4 equally easy. And then we finish off with a cool little turnaround, which is going to sound like this. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit closer now with this so I can take you through it. We eventually use finger number 2, okay, and this is basically, they call it a turnaround. It's sort of the ending off of the progression. And the guitar boogie is actually a lot longer than this. This is sort of a simplified one that we did in our class today for those that don't know, that are visiting the site. And it's just a fun thing to play. It gets the fingers nice and loose, and it is simplified a bit, but it's fun. That's what it's all about. It's going to go 5, that's on your top string, your 6th string. So it's 5, 5. You'll notice on your tab, it's going to go down the upper string on the tab, down the string on the guitar, 4. Now watch the fingers go here, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7. Notice my thumb really hasn't moved much. And again, from the first 5, down to 4, 5, 6, 7. And all my fingers are nice in a row. And then we go to the green ending over there, 4, 6, 7, and that's on the 4th string, 4, 6, 7, and we've got your final 5 in the corner there on the 4th beat at the end of the 3rd row. Okay, to finish off, I'm going to take it through nice and slow the whole way through, but I'm going to zoom out a bit first. And let's try together. Back to the original position. And are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... There you have it. Now before we sign off in this video, you'll notice that on the PDF I sent, there's a part 2. And there's quite a funky little part which goes... Now if you want to make the boogie a lot more sort of challenging, a bit more fun, a bit more difficult, you can do something like this. Check this out. Nice big jumps, nice for accuracy, and it's just a little sweet sort of rock and roll riff that I threw in for the fun of it. Now this is more for the intermediate players, and I'm just going to focus and show you what you're doing this nice and quick. We're starting with finger 1, fret number 5, strings 1 and 2, you play it twice. Then you go finger number 3, and it's going to be 7, 5, 6, all on the 3rd string, 7th, 5th, 6th. And you finish off the phrase with 7 again, but on the 4th string. So slow motion. If you bring your picking hand into the picture, we're going to see the little double stroke there. And we can basically substitute this A riff, because this is basically an A riff, over the A boogie. So you can have something like this. When you go to the D, you'll find that the D is sitting all the way up by fret 10. And this is again is color coded. So the blue is for the blue, part 1, part 2. The brown is for the brown, part 1, part 2. And it's up here, fret number 10. Which means now you can cut your D riff that you learned at the beginning of the video and get a nice accuracy jump all the way from here all the way to fret number 10 there. And instead of doing your E going, you can do an E up here, D over here, and you can sit and interchange and make it more difficult, to make it more interesting from there. In other studies, we're going to start adding in your minor pentatonic scale, but that's not for today. I hope you've had a good time enjoying this. If there's any questions, don't hesitate to call me. Have an awesome week. Take care. Cheers.